In the 17th century, Bharat was going through a dark phase. The rulers of the state were crushing people for belonging to a particular identity. Imagine you're being taxed for belonging to a particular religion. Your temples were being destroyed. Your women were being abused and harassed. Then rose a great guru who groomed a great shishya to lead a Swarajya, a great empire that would be a torchbearer for the future generations to come. I'm talking about none other than the great saint Samartha Ramdas. Now usually, because of our online classes, we tend to despise our teachers for torturing us with their constant, lectures and, constant, lessons itself. But imagine in those days, in the 17th century, when hope was lacking in the society, when despair was spreading across the length and breadth of India, one saint decided to groom a young boy to become a great leader, a Chatrapati Shivaji. Sant Ramadas was just a normal boy like you and me. He had his normal aspirations like you and me. But he saw something that was problematic in the society. He saw that this society was not going in the right path. The value system in Bharat was depleting. Mughals were rampaging our cultural systems. We were being tortured for eternity. Bharat was living in this manner for the past 200 to 300 years, and Sant Ramadas took upon himself to change the situation that was existing in India. He started a particular sect of sannyasins called Samartha, hence the name Samartha Ramadas. Now imagine a saint is someone who probably takes lectures, takes jnana yajnas, and then sits in a rock and starts meditating. But Sant Ramadas was not that kind of a saint. Sant Ramadas took up on a mission for a lifetime that would be an example for the future generations. He decided the sannyasi is not someone who's going to just meditate and sit on a rock. A sannyasi is someone who's going to take up on a military revolution, who's going to take on a political revolution in India and revive its old cultural systems, bring up the value systems in India. And then he started grooming people, he started grooming sannyasins, he started changing the identity of a sannyasi. He started mobilizing people, he started inspiring people a lot. And then one day, hearing Sant Ramadas' work, Shivaji Maharaj wanted to meet him, listen to him, interact with him, but could not do so. I think that's where this fundamental value which we all should, recognize. I think knowledge will not be given to us. I think we should yearn for knowledge. We should set ourselves on a quest for knowledge and look for our guru everywhere. I think today we are so lucky that we have a set of teachers teaching us different subjects and different values. In those days, that was not the case. We were being ridiculed for belonging to a particular religion. Basic ideals of freedom of expression were being curbed. Then where was the chance to find a good teacher? Well, Shivaji, a young man, set out on a journey to discover his guru, Sant Ramadas. And one day, he did finally meet his guru and had an enlightening conversation with this saint. And Sant Ramadas interestingly gave 3 elements to Shivaji, who was not a Maharaj yet. He was still a young boy with huge aspirations. Remember that. So this guru planted the seeds of Swarajya, seeds of Hindu Rashtra that would culminate into a larger movement in the years to come. Sant Ramadas first gave a pile of mud, then a set of pebbles, and then finally gave horse dung. The pile of mud would signify the earth which Shivaji Maharaj would conquer in the future years to come. The pebble would signify the hill forts which he would rule from. And the horse dung signified the vast empire, army of horses which he would maintain in the future years to come. These 3 elements which Sant Ramadas gave inspired Shivaji Maharaj. And Shivaji Maharaj became an ardent devotee of Sant Ramadas. And then Sant Ramadas did not just inspire Shivaji Maharaj. He even gave Shivaji Maharaj certain sets and rules based on which Shivaji Maharaj used to rule his kingdom. He wrote something called as a Dashabodha, which acted as a guideline for Shivaji Maharaj to rule his kingdom. Now imagine, I think it is very important to understand that Shivaji Maharaj had a model system in place at that point of time in ruling. He had a coalition government, which we see these days, in place in those days. He in fact united the Hindu population of those days. There were the Holkars, there were the Bhosles, there were the Peshwas. So the seed was laid out by Sant Ramadas, the seed was carried out by Shivaji Maharaj. And Shivaji Maharaj was so inspired by Sant Ramadas that he wanted to leave all the materialistic world which he was living in, the Maya which he was, confided in, and go and join as a disciple of Sant Ramadas. He wanted to leave his Swadharma. It is at this point Sant Ramadas show the true character of a guru. The true character of a guru is not to collect a pile of disciples. The true character of guru is to kindle and tap the element of Swadharma in his disciple. And that is exactly what Sant Ramadas did. He tapped the spirit of Swadharma within Shivaji Maharaj. He told, your Swadharma is to be a Kshatriya. Your Swadharma is to rule people with fairness and treat them equally. And set Shivaji Maharaj back on his true path of, establishing the rule of Swarajya. Now, I think whenever we talk about a guru-shishya relationship, which we would have seen in the past few days as such of this whole program, you would have realized that we are talking about a guru-shishya relationship that established a sort of norm in the society. That enabled or contributed to the sense of Hindu Renaissance in the society. And during the times of Mughal Raj, I think it is important to understand the contributions made by Shivaji Maharaj to Hindu Renaissance itself. Because after Shivaji Maharaj, there came Ahalyabai Holkar, who restored numerous temples across India. And Shivaji Maharaj restrained, Shivaji Maharaj's problems were not one-sided or one-faced. It was multifaceted. He was facing the sultans in the south. He was facing the nizams from the south. He was facing Aurangzeb from the north. Now imagine the amount of conviction you have to face such a huge army of invaders who were hell-bent on defeating you and crushing your army. So whenever we talk about a guru-shishya relationship, it is important to understand what did the guru contribute to the shishya and how did the shishya receive that knowledge. Because in all these examples, the guru did not go to the shishya. The shishya always went to the guru, went in search of the guru and yearned to learn from the guru. So Shivaji Maharaj's contributions and Sant Ramadas' contributions to Hindu Renaissance are timeless and will culminate to bear fruits in the future years to come as well. But this beautiful relationship, this beautiful Jugalbandi which these two had, is something that we should always remember and revere as sons of the soil, sons and daughters of the soil. Because what we are today is, the seeds of what we are today was sown long back in 17th century. Thank you.